Okay, so you guys remember how yesterday you had a few problems where like the x's wouldn't make 0 because they were both the same, like same sign, like they were both positive or they were both negative. Do you guys remember that? What did we have to do to make one of them negative? We had to multiply the whole equation, right?
Yes.
All the parts by negative. Okay? So today, we're going to be having to start every problem, like on these problems that we're working with today and on your homework tonight, with some type of multiplication. Okay? I want you guys to take a look at this first example. Go ahead and write this one down. So here's our system of equations. And remember, our objective here is to figure out what is the solution to this system. So I'm trying to find the ordered pair, the x and the y value, that satisfies both equations. It's a solution to both of them. Okay? Now, we've been combining the two equations, right? And right now, if I were to combine these, would the x's make 0? Would the y's make 0? No, nothing would make 0, right? Okay, now, one thing I see right now is the way this is written, this is really like a 1 here, right? So, these aren't even, like, even though these are opposite signs, when I take 4 and -1, when I combine these, that's going to give me 3, right? Over here, 8 plus 2, that's going to give me 10. So, nothing's making 0. Okay, so what I can do is I can go ahead and I can take one of the equations and multiply it by something so that hopefully either these x's or these y's can make 0. Okay, so one of the things I notice in this one is these x's are already the opposite sign, right? This one up here is positive, this one down here is negative. All right, so I just really wish there was a 4 here. Because if there was a 4 here, wouldn't positive 4 and negative 4 make 0? Okay, so can I just magically put a 4 there? Can I like sprinkle my magic fairy dust and just like bibbidi bobbidi boo, yay, it's a 4 now? What mathematical thing do I have to do to make a 4 there? I have to multiply all the parts of the equation by 4. Okay? So, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to rewrite these two equations, okay? So I'm going to rewrite the top one just the way it is because I'm not changing anything in the top in this problem. Okay? Now, let's take a look at the bottom one. What's 4 times negative x?
Negative 4.
Okay. What's 4 times 8?
Negative 8. Y.
Let's try that again. What's 4 times positive 8? 32?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and what's 4 times 26? Get your calculator out. Okay. Do that on your calculator. Make sure we don't make a mistake. 104? Okay. All right, so now I can go ahead and combine my like terms. So when I combine my x's, what does that make? 0, right? When I combine my y's, what do those make? 2 plus 32? 34. Let's drop down my equal sign. When I combine my regular numbers there, negative 2 and 104. Okay. Now, really this 0, I don't even need this here. I mean, it's adding with this, but it's like nothing, right? So now this is my equation I have left. So how do I solve this? Divide, right? Can someone on their calculator do that division? 102 divided by 34?
3.
3? Okay. All right, so now what's my next step? Plug it in. Do you guys want to plug it into the top or to the bottom? Top? Okay. So into the top, I'm going to have 4x plus 2 times my y value I got was 3. And then the rest of the equation says equals -2. Okay, so I want you guys to try to solve that right now and see what you get. Okay, so can you guys check your work? Is this what you guys came up with? Okay, how many of you got that? Raise your hand. Okay, nice work. All right, and remember, we're always writing x first, y second. Okay, so this is our answer. Okay? All right, let's take a look at this next one. Okay, here we go. All right, so I'll give you guys a minute to write that one down. Okay, so what do you guys notice here? Are the x's right now going to make 0? Are the y's going to make 0? Okay. Which ones do you think would be easiest to try to change maybe into the x's or the y's? The x's? What do you guys, so can we change 7 maybe to be a number that would cancel with 14? What number would make 0 with 14? What would this number up here have to change into in order for these to make 0? Yeah, this number up here would have to change into -14. Now, I think someone was thinking a step ahead of me, but what would I have to multiply this whole thing by so that this could be -14? -2, right? What would happen if I just multiplied by +2? Would they make 0? No, because they would end up making 14 plus 14. That would make 28, right? Okay, so let's multiply that whole equation by -2 and let's rewrite. Okay, so -2 times 7x, -14x, -2 times -2y. What's a negative times a negative? Okay, and that's 4, right? 4y. Okay, -2 times -11. Positive 22. Good. Okay, on the bottom, did I multiply anything? No, so we're just rewriting it exactly the way it was. Okay, so now I want you guys to see what you get when you combine your two equations. Do we now get a 0? Yeah. Yeah, right there, right? Okay, share with your shoulder partner what you got when you solve for y. See if you guys got the same thing. Okay, what did you guys get when you solved for y? Say out loud. -5 or +5? Good. Raise your hand if you got -5 for your y value. Okay, good. All right, so now what's the next step that we're going to do? plug it back in, right? Do you guys want to use the top or the bottom? Who wants the top? Raise your hand. Who wants the bottom? I think the top one. Okay, so let's all plug it into the top. Okay, 7x minus 2 times negative 5 equals negative 11. Okay, I want you guys to solve that right now and see what you guys get. And when you're done solving, I want you to compare with your shoulder partner. Okay, can you guys share with your shoulder partner what you guys came up with? Okay, can you guys check your work with mine? Okay, take a look. Did you guys come up with negative 3, negative 5? Raise your hand if you did. I want to see how many of you. Okay, good. Okay, all right. Okay, now, I want, in both of these problems that we did, we only had to multiply one of the equations, okay? So, I want you guys to take a look at this problem. You guys see what I did? I put y and y. That's supposed to be an x. Sorry about that. It's an x right here. Okay, so on this one, is there a way for me to turn 3 into 5? Is there like a way for me to turn 4 into 6? No, right? And also, can I turn 5 into 3? Or can I turn 6 into 4? No. Okay, so when you have this situation, what this means is you're going to have to multiply both of them. Okay? What you kind of want to think about is like, remember when you guys are working with adding fractions and how like when you're adding fractions, if you have 1/3 plus 1/4, you have to find a common denominator before you add them? It's kind of like that, right? Like if these were the denominators of your fraction, what would the common denominator be? What would the common denominator of these be? Okay, 24, maybe 12, right? This one, 15, okay? So you can choose whether you want to try to make the x's the same or the y's the same. Now in this situation, which ones are already opposite signs? X's or y's? So I think I'll try to make the x's the same, and you guys told me their common denominator would be 15, right? So I'm going to multiply this one by what number? 3. What would I have to multiply the 3 by? 5, right? And I don't need to have either one of these being a negative because they're already opposite signs, right? So I don't want to change their sign, okay? So let's go ahead and rewrite both of the equations. Okay, what's 3 times negative 5? And there's an x there. What's 3 times negative 4y? Negative 12y. What's 3 times 14? Where are my calculator people? 42. Okay. Next one. 5 times 3x. 15x. 5 times negative 6y. Negative 30y. 5 times 0. Okay, so now my x's, I have exactly what I want. I have they're the same number, right? Opposite signs. So that's going to create 0 there, right? Okay, so that makes 0. Negative 12 and negative 30. Negative 42. Y. Okay, 42 and 0. 42. Okay, what's my next step in solving? Okay, so what's my y value? What kind of one? Negative 1. Okay. All right, so which one do you guys want to plug it back into? The top or the bottom? The top?
Yeah.
Really?
No, bottom. He's the little.
I do the top.
Yeah, the bottom.
Okay, if you want to do the top, you can do the top. But for me, 0 is a really easy number to work with. This one has 2 negatives. I think personally that the bottom looks much easier. But if you want to do the top, you can do the top. Okay? So I'm going to plug into the bottom. 3x minus 6 times negative 1 equals 0. Okay, 3x plus 6 equals 0, right? What's my next step?
Subtract 6.
Yeah, subtract 6. Okay, so 3x equals negative 6. What's my last step? Divide. Okay, so what is your final x value? Negative 2. Okay, so what's our ordered pair? There we go. Negative 2, negative 1. Okay. Does anyone need more time writing anything down there? Okay, let me give you guys one more minute. Okay, is it okay if I turn the page over? You guys are good? Okay, let's take a look at example 4. I want you guys to write this one down.
You want us to do this for two?
No, we're going to talk about this one.
Okay.
Okay, so let's take a look at this one. Right now, are your x's going to make 0? Are your y's going to make 0? Okay. Your x's are the same sign. Your y's are also the same sign. Okay. So, which ones do you guys want to try to change? The x's or the y's?
The wise.
Okay, I hear x's and I hear y's. Okay. What would these change into if I change the x's? 40. What would these change into?
18.
What's going to maybe give me some smaller numbers to work with?
18.
I think 18. So my vote's for changing the y's.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what would I multiply this top one by to get it to be 18? 9. Okay, what about the bottom one? 2. Now, right now, if I do times a positive 9, that's going to give me a negative 18. And if I do here, this one times a positive 2, it's going to give me a negative 18. They're both going to stay negative. Are they going to make 0 if they're both negative? No, right? Negative 18 and negative 18 makes negative 36. So one of them needs to change sign. Which one do you guys want me to make change sign? The top or the bottom? The bottom? Okay, so we're going to make it the negative go with the bottom. Okay? So now, let's go ahead and just multiply each of these equations by, this one's, the top one's by 9, so 9 times 8x. Okay. 9 times negative 2y. Negative 18y. Okay, 9 times 12. 108. Okay, let's go to the bottom. We're multiplying by negative 2. So negative 2 times 5x. Negative 10x. Negative 2 times negative 9y. A negative times a negative is a positive, which was my goal, right? I needed them to become opposite signs. Okay, negative 2 times 23. Negative 46. Okay, so now let's see what we get. Which one of these becomes 0? The 18s, the y's, right? Okay, so over here, what's 72 minus 10x? Okay. Over here, what's 108 minus 46? What was it? 62? Okay. Is this 0 really important? I mean, this is just adding with 0. It's adding with nothing, so it's not really that important. So here's the equation that I actually have to solve, right? Okay, so how am I going to solve that? And what's x? 1. Okay, now, which one do you guys like better?
Top.
Top. Which one? The top? Okay, you guys want to plug it into the top? Alright, so let's plug it in to the top. Now remember, this time we found x first. So this is going in the x spot, right? So we're plugging in 8 times 1, because that's where x goes, minus 2y equals 12. Okay? Now, what is 8 times 1? Okay, what do I need to do next to solve this? Get rid of the 8 or the 2? The 8. It's positive 8. I know there's a minus here, but this is a positive 8. So to move it to the opposite side, I've got to do the opposite, which is subtracting it. Okay? Okay, last step. Okay, so what do you get for your y value? Now, what's your final answer? Okay. How are we feeling about that one? Phantasmic? Wow. Okay, we're feeling good then. Okay. All right.